We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So you guys already know, special counsel Jack Smith, he's on the clock, man. He put himself on the clock. And all he really cares about is making sure that Donald Trump is sitting in a courtroom pretty much day in and day out for what will probably be a many, many months long trial, right? Because he wants him there instead of being on the road, shaking hands, kissing babies, and doing all the things that presidential candidates do. And of course, for Jack, icing on the cake would be a conviction. But I think all he really fantasizes about is trial during the election and before the election. Because I think, honestly, and you've heard me say it before, I think Jack Smith, he really does believe, or he's been taught to believe, led to believe, programmed to believe, that Donald Trump is a threat to the world, to democracy. And here's where he's not the only one that thinks that, right? But here's where he gets a little crazy. Jack Smith believes in some sort of weird superhero fantasy that he's the only man that can stop him. Pretty much the only guy on all of planet Earth that can save the world from Donald Trump, which is really freaking insane when you think about it. And that's where the Supreme Court comes in. And that's always where the Supreme Court comes in. The founders never imagined that this is what the court would be needed for. But here's where we are. And this is what we need the court for. We need the court to save the world from a crazy, malicious prosecutor, special prosecutor, that thinks he can save the world, thinks he needs to save the world. So Jack Smith, as you guys already know, basically asked the Supreme Court to speed up Trump's trial and help him because it's Trump. And that's basically the reason he gave the court. You got to help me because it's special, and it's special because it's Trump. You got to help me stop Trump. And now his plans are completely shot, man. I have a really, really fantastic clip of Trump attorney Alina Habba, who you guys like, I like. Always fun to watch her talk, listen to her talk. But first, guys, if you haven't already, please help this channel continue to grow. You know, you've heard me say it, but going into 2024, guys, it's going to be more and more difficult to get conservative voices heard, right? So we're going to have to do this together. We're going to have to work together, guys. So please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel.
For 2024, as Steve and I were just talking about, but the biggest question about the elections is whether voters will decide the outcome, or whether it's going to be a politically motivated group of judges and prosecutors, et cetera. Joining us now is Trump attorney Alina Habba. Alina, great to see you. Let's talk about that in a second. But first, I got to mention Jack Smith's loss today in his rush to get to trial before the election. What do you make of that? And is it going to become obvious, because he may come out and actually say what we all know he's thinking, which is he wants the election, he wants the decision in the Supreme Court to be before the election. He wanted the trial to be before the election, and now it looks like he's further away from that goal.
Yeah, it's called election interference. That is 100% what this was, and I'm really pleased with the Supreme Court. It really restored my faith in my profession, frankly. The Supreme Court saw through this. There was no urgent application necessary by Jack Smith. He was trying to usurp the appellate division and go right up to the Supreme Court to have them hear issues of presidential immunity, which is an absolute immunity that presidents have for a very good reason. And frankly, so that they don't have to have DAs and AGs come after them after their presidency in this political witch hunt. And the Supreme Court ruled today that Jack Smith did not have reason to do so. He needed to stay the course, go through the normal procedures as everybody else. He had no urgency, and there was no dissent in the Supreme Court's decision. So it was a very great day for Team Trump, and we'll keep pushing.
You know, of course, the irony, I don't have to tell you, Alina, but just to remind everybody, that would be election interference, as I think you rightly said. He wants to interfere with the election by getting a conviction of Donald Trump before the election from a very favorable court, if he can find one. And ironically, this is a case he's charging Donald Trump with election interference when that's exactly what he's trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. For saying to peacefully and patriotically march, and to say that he wants to look at the election because.
Yeah. So You guys see that. She's 100% right, man. It is election interference. There is no other way to describe it. And here's why I think that. This is an incredibly complex case. Whether you're for the case or against the case, for Trump, against the Trump, believe in the Constitution or hate it, like a lot of liberals do, this is a complex case. And the court knew that. They also knew that if you look through all of the J6 cases, right, of all the cases that were even half as complicated as this case, not one of them was given a 5-month start date. Not one. Not one. Look it up. If you guys can find one and I'm wrong, let me know. But no one with a complex case, more complex than a misdemeanor, had a 5-month start date. So without a doubt, this is legal trickery and backdoor lawfare in order to interfere and manipulate an American election, which, like I said, no matter what side you're on, that should upset everybody. And guys, when you look at this, we're not in danger of becoming a banana republic. This is banana republic stuff, without a doubt. We have slowly and quietly become the most corrupt nation in the entire Western world. And it's freaking disgusting when you think about it, man. And it's depressing. It is really, really depressing. Habba is right. There is some faith now justified by the Supreme Court decision. You never know what's going to happen. You know what should happen, but you almost never even believe that what should happen will happen anymore. But what happened is exactly what should have happened. But in modern America, like I said, things happening like they should, that is a rare thing, sadly. So, it ends up, how sad is it that when things happen like they're supposed to, it ends up feeling like some kind of hard to believe victory. That is sick when you think about it. But that's all I've got, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, guys, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.